So good afternoon, everybody. In less than 3 minutes, I'm going to show you something. So I've been complaining about Oxford Graduate College School of Practical Accounting and Eduqual, which are all affiliates, failing me on a program. Even though I told them that the recommendations that they were given to me, for all those weeks couldn't open. The file format was not opening at all. All right. And because of that, I was unable to access the file and the recommendations given. When I did get the file to open, the recommendations, when you click on comments, it was not opening. So I had to wait. I didn't know what was said to me, so I sent back my draft without editing anything much except the grammar and punctuation, spelling, that kind of thing. And I sent it just as it is. The teacher told me that I didn't make the recommendations and whatnot and gave me a warning, sent it back to me and told me to fix the analysis, and they told me to use ILAC, where you identify the issue, state what the law states on the issue, apply what the law states and state what it means for the client. All right? I followed and I did so. In our country, because of the uniqueness of the case, most times the government would pay a type of settlement or grant the employee what they are asking for, which are within their rights. In such a case, that isn't being done. And in our country, because that was normally the norm, there are only 2 case files in existence pertaining to this type of matter. The third one is ongoing. It's an ongoing court matter. When I indicated that in my assignment, I indicated that nonetheless, because of the number of injuries, number of years, any judge would state that the employer was unjust, unreasonable, and whatnot. And I even quoted what a judge said about a similar case, which was won in 2009, won by attorney Anand Ram Logan. The same attorney that I went to in 2018 to fight for a case for me. And he told me there was a conflict of interest and he couldn't represent me. Nonetheless, he still took my $500 for advisement fee. All right. What he said to me, however, was not wasted because I included it in my assignment. All right. Based on what he told me and my memory of it, I included it in my assignment. This assignment was done in 2023. Mr. Anand Ramlungan advised me in 2018. Look at how many years later. And when I include it in my assignment, they are telling me it's not enough. So what happens? You just will fail a client, disbar a client, or refuse a client because there's not enough case laws, rather than take the case, rather than represent that client who is receiving some unjust act or something against them, and they are well within their rights. You will dismiss them, dismiss their case, dismiss everything that pertains to them because you have no understanding, because there's no case law for you to follow. Where is the challenge in being a follower? Where is the challenge? Where do you show that you are a scholar? At what point, by this sending that person away and disbarring them, at what point, right, does that case, by dismissing them, shows that you have earned your degree, you have earned your qualification via merit? On my screen here now, it shows, all right, the response that I got when I went on their Facebook page and put the information on it. Because they gave me 2 weeks to pay £100, which is 1,000 TT dollars, to query it. You only have 14 days in which the complaint was made. All right, so when they submitted it to me, I noticed this is wrong, I was failed. I only have 14 days from that date to pay 1,000 TT dollars and to query it. I informed them that there was an assassination attempt on one of my relatives. I explained to them that I was raped, right? I explained to them that people have been stealing my things, right? It doesn't matter if my husband raped me. Rape is rape. You don't just show up after years of not seeing me, no phone calls, no emails. You kept my money, you kept the house and the children, you kept everything, and then you just showed up in my apartment. And when I woke up from my sleep, I'm all used and having flashbacks of your voice and you being there. And other people have to indicate to me when you visited 2 days later or 3 days later. Yes, that is the person who spent all night with you downstairs and making a set of noise and calling the landlord to tell the landlord this is the man coming back. You feel I didn't know? So the neighbor identified you if you wanted to say that I was dreaming or it's a lie. The neighbor identified you. Putting that aside, being courageous and being filled with the pride and joy of an intellectual, I decided to go back and get a paralegal diploma, level 5 diploma, right? Paralegal studies is not law. It is like a lawyer secretary. You are a lawyer's secretary. That is it. You are not to administer the law at any time. And it told us that Mohinda, which is one of the lecturers in the course, he told us just that. At no time is the paralegal to take the responsibilities of the lawyer. Your job is to file, edit correspondences, mail letters out, receive payment based on what the lawyer told you is the amount. If you think it's too much, there is a criteria to follow based on how long the lawyer interviewed the person and whatnot. All right? And I will tell you something. At no time in my assignment did I cross those boundaries, because I gave the assignment in the form of a case study approach from the perspective of a paralegal looking in on a case whereby a lawyer is advising a client, a potential client, and then they became their client based on the evidence that the client provided. So you understand what my study was about. I had Harvard references. Some of it probably may be a little shaky, but the point is it was very close. If not, if I made any mistakes, right? I followed Harvard referencing style. I followed a legal framework. I included legal philosophies in my research approach. None of that was taken into consideration. All I was failed on is that the analysis is not enough. And the analysis is literally based on what the client presented before me, what the law states in Trinidad and Tobago, and what two existing case files states. What more can I put towards that case? I can only now go before a judge, right? As a paralegal, I can only look in to my lawyer filing a pre-action protocol letter and awaiting a response. My job as the paralegal is to type up the pre-action protocol letter and to mail it. Where in my assignment did I do something wrong? I follow the course's aims and objectives, which is based on paralegal studies, not the study of law. Paralegal studies and law are two different things. How did I fail? And when I showed them a copy of an example that was given to me, which was not paralegal studies research, but was based on marketing and distribution and communication studies, I was dismissed. I indicated I had no money, no money, whatever. And I also included the assassination attempt and whatnot, because these things cost money to try to reach out to people and whatnot. $500 for a letter to be mailed. $500. All right? And nobody considers these things, because this man on the screen has the audacity to say, which tells me that these people from the UK, from the lower strata of the UK, have been collaborating with criminals in Trinidad who have reached the level of teachers and lawyers, and have also been in cahoots of working together to topple down the crime. And I'll show you why. This school is in London, Oxford Graduate College. This is a London-based school. Their headquarters, everything is in London. Now look at what it says here. The man says here, Josanne Acosta, Josanne Acosta, Josanne Acosta. Mommy, you failed your assignment. There is a query fee. Plus, you were provided feedback on your draft assignment. You did not follow the guidelines provided by the faculty, all of which are a lie. I followed the instructions given. You failed the draft and was provided the necessary guidance to pass the final submission. I did not fail the draft. I have on the system graded. And based on the draft, they told me the next step. But the draft copy with the comments was not opening, and I indicated just that. All right? But this part gets me. What does this have to do with my academic performance, which shows unethical, right? And low-class beings and people in an esteemed or supposed esteemed institution, which could be why the school is going down, and Trinidad and Tobago School of Practical Accounting has become disaffiliated with them. Eduqual is no longer affiliated with them in this regard, because it was the three schools together as one. What does, you also said King Charles is your father and he can't pay your fees. What does that have to do with anything? We have the entire email thread where you were provided feedback and multiple forms of assistance. That's a lie. That is a lie. They never provided me no multiple feedback. One feedback, which was the draft copy. And in the draft copy, they included the comments to the side, and it was not opening at no time. Lower down, he put up an email that states just what I told you. So I told him now that we have, and he said it twice. Look again. Oxford Graduate College. Look, he said it here again. You also said King Charles is your father and he can't pay your fees. I never said that to that man, ever. Right? What I said is, I am an adult. I am responsible for my education. I cannot be asking people or looking forward to them to pay it. If it's a gesture or it's a family member and I ask you, I look forward to it, but you are not obligated to me. I never gave you my money. I gave my grandfather and I gave my other relatives, but I didn't give you any. All right? And that was one of the reasons for that, is because he was stating that I was the embarrassment in the family because of my actions and because of something I did. When the truth is, I was involved in producing one of the world's most potent medical anesthetic. And it was not that I did it consciously. I did it under duress. Someone put a gun to my head and they asked a professor in the school, well, a budding professor. He was not a professor at that time, but he's a professor now. And they asked him for the formula for cocaine. And I told him, give it to him, long story short, but change the ending. In changing the ending, it was no longer an illegal act because the formula was no longer illegal. It was something novel. In other words, it was a new idea. All right? When the idea became new, other people went and sabotaged this of His Majesty by pulling out the last page with the part I contributed towards, which made it novel and new, and just left him with the formula for cocaine. Fortunately, other people added the parts that I said back onto it, and he was given a warning that it's dangerous and to be careful, and they took it seriously, and they use it for the last 10 years in medical research. In 2020, 2021, they stated it was a success, but they said they cannot bring it down here to be replicated or for others to follow the formula because of the cocaine aspect of it. It is not cocaine, but if a student is doing it and they just stop at that part, they will create cocaine. But if someone who is responsible is doing it and they completed the entire thing, they will be creating a medical anesthetic, which is not addictive, but very potent because it knocks you out and they can perform their surgeries and whatnot. Not to mention, if it falls in the wrong hands, people can be date raped with it. You will be knocked out, they rape you, and they go on their way. Hence the reason they stated that it cannot be brought to certain people in the public eyes and whatnot, to certain levels, because they are criminals and they would use it and whatnot. So my father, King Charles, without the knowledge of knowing what was what, jumped to the conclusion, because he was being ill-advised by real criminals who wanted him to be dethroned, or not get the throne, I should say, because this was before he was on the throne, to be ousted, so his brother, who support such acts, would get the throne. All right? And be it as it may, though my hair might be nappy, or I might wear clothes that shows my elbows and arms and my knees, I have never brought my family name in disrepute. Other people who manipulated them to attack me because they had not the knowledge or patience to listen the whole story, or to wait till someone healed from their meningitis and concussion to hear the truth of everything, and in doing so forfeited their right to get an inheritance from the research study, unlike the other two people who listened. Okay? Good. So you cannot want money from a daughter. You cannot be stealing money from a daughter because you didn't consider that to be your daughter. You considered Jennifer to be your daughter. You considered Wendy to be your daughter. Wendy's not even your daughter. That girl father is a drug lord who raped her mother and made her. The people took the child away because they know that would be a direct link to the crown through the mother's side, and they know they will bring drugs on the trade. So they moved her out and put her up for adoption somewhere else where people will not know of her, to use her to manipulate the family. And that is all I have to say on that matter. There are many things I know of my family because I regard knowing of my family to protect them. Money doesn't grow on trees, and ideas don't come just like that. It takes lots of prayer, supplication, and a lot of determination and hard work, being among the right people. Because the people you surrounded yourself with were not legal, and they did not like you. They blamed you for bringing a nigger into the family. And when they saw that the nigger was smarter than them, they said, kill them after they finish their work and give us what they've earned and made and whatnot. And I have reported this to the FBI, to the Secret Service, to the police of Trinidad and Tobago, and nothing has been done right away, because they stated that they are waiting for me to be killed so they could take away the balance of things. What does that say to you? This is a school in London, and they are making a mockery of their king, right? Someone tells you there's an assassination attempt and whatnot, rather than make a report to the police, you are making a mockery of the person telling you this. You are making a mockery of your king. George, you have no supporters. Notice I said George. You better check yourself and pray and ask God, the Holy Spirit, to fill you and put the right people in your pathway to help you. Because if these are your followers and future followers, and they have no respect for you and no regard for you to take this seriously as an SOS, or say, well, something weird has happened. A student stated so by so. Nothing. They made a mockery of it for him. You better realize you have no supporters or help. Pray and ask God to put back some in your way. And what did that to you is because you allow the people who seem stupid and poor and dotish, who sacrifice their food and family and life and whatnot to get an education to support you, and by extension Trinidad and Tobago's government, and vice versa. You allow these other people who didn't have remotely any genuine intent in them to destroy those people who were your genuine supporters and would have done things for you for free when you came. Everybody is charging you for every little thing that you are doing there. All right? And not just you, but your other children in that league. And you are to blame because you blame the child of God who was praying and developed an anesthetic, running under duress, calling on Jesus' name while getting a gun butt to head. And you did not take the time to understand I was attacked. You in turn verbally attacked me and said I was no daughter of yours. So since I am no daughter of anybody, God is the father of the fatherless. He is my father, I'm his daughter. Have a wonderful day. And Trinidad and Tobago, don't go to these schools. They are only failing you. after they get your money, so you will not even progress to another stage to be successful. And if they do fail you and you have to get money to pay it, to have your skills looked at. And you're not guaranteed at any time to get back that money because they could simply state that you are wrong, you haven't passed, and that's it. All right? So you be very careful with that. Have a wonderful day. And I humbly apologize for the insincerity that is growing in London. I hope it doesn't cause a global war that blows up the United Kingdom or London.